It's another edition of the Manual. Speaking of Manual, man, did you see?
Did I see what?
Did you see the playoffs this weekend?
I saw Patty Mahomes shrink like a cheap suit. Yes, I did. I saw it.
Don't say it.
I have to say it.
Don't say it.
Listen, I lost my coach this week, so I get to say whatever I want to say about Patty Mahomes. I lost my coach this week.
You did. It's a lot of stuff going on. But to watch him play in the first half, and then just to see him completely, I was just like, who is this guy?
Well, he only played in the first half, so we should get that under control. He only played in the first half. 21 points in the first half, and at the end of regulation, save for a field goal, 21 points.
I told my wife, I said, that is a critical moment right there. I said, if they lose this game, you get to point it right back to that moment right there.
That's right.
But there was no reason for him to do that. But it's like he was succumbing to some kind of pressure. I don't know what it was, but that was terrible.
So you trying to tell me he was a man under pressure?
He was a man under pressure. I believe that's what we're going to talk about today on the Manual.
Man under pressure.
Welcome to another edition of the Manual. I'm Chip Rice.
And I am Alton Woods. And before we go any further, it is important that you do your homework again. Like and subscribe. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go find us, The Manual or The Manual for You. That is how you do it. So before we go any further, I want you to stop, press pause, or whatever it is you're doing. Like, ring the bell, subscribe, share it with your friends, your mama, your auntie, your uncle, whoever it is that you talk to, share it with them right now.
We are the Manual. So on this week's edition of the Manual, we're talking about men under pressure. Based on some things that we saw over the weekend. And then I just kind of started thinking about some of the pressures that men deal with that we don't talk about a lot. So we saw what happened in the playoff games with Cincinnati and Kansas City. And I was just shocked to see what Cincinnati was able to do and then what Kansas City was not able to do. And it made me think about what kind of pressure are these guys dealing with when they're out there on the field. Now, it's real easy for us sitting on the sideline, making comments, being like, pressure, bust pipes or make diamonds and everything. Right. But that's some real pressure they were dealing with.
It is. And before we unpack that, can we have a moment of silence, please?
For?
Sean Payton.
That's killing you.
It's killing me. It's killing me because I know this time next year he will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
He's gone.
And I can't hardly take it.
It hurt me a little bit because he didn't become the next coach of the New York Giants. So I guess I got a little pain too. We got a new coach, but I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I don't know either. But I don't even have a coach, so we'll rock with it. However, but even under the same concept of pressure, right? We see a man after 16 years in a city where he is beloved, a city where he is the absolute top dog, walks away because he's burnt out, because he's tired. And I had to think about it. He came in 2006, and so he brought the team back after Hurricane Katrina.
After Katrina, yep.
And since then, he's worked in a space with multiple evacuations because of hurricanes, COVID, a divorce. His kids live in Dallas, Texas, while he's working in New Orleans. A young wife now.
That's a lot of
pressure. That's a lot of pressure. So, and left 3 years and $45 million on the table.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, which lets me know it's even more pressure.
Yeah, because now it's like I'm walking away from this, but I guess I'm good with it because I left $45 million.
You reckon they would have given him a raise if he asked for one? I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. So it didn't even have to be 40. It could have been more than 45. But so Patty Mahomes, I guess we didn't even talk about Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh my goodness.
Sean Payton. It's a week of men under pressure. Isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of men under pressure. What's going on? So along those lines, I thought about why men are under pressure and some of the things that they deal with. And so I thought about identity. Who am I? You know, who am I besides what I want to portray?
That's right.
You know, who's the man that I am? And
That's right.
how did I become who I am? Who's my family? Where were we born? Where did we live? What kind of influence that we have?
That's right.
You got a Louisiana experience. I've got a North Carolina experience. It's how do you unpack your identity?
Yeah. And you know, you reference geography, but that has a ton to do, a lot to do with it.
There's some things that I grew up that I never had a fear about. That if I change geography, it turns into a totally different circumstance.
That's right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, you know, you said Louisiana, and boy, my mind just started spinning. You know, and I need to clarify because the great state of Louisiana is not even sufficient to properly describe my geography and my upbringing. And for those of y'all who are looking and you know, Ninth Ward, New Orleans, baby. We used to say 5 + 4, and what do you get? You get a Ninth Ward, brother. And never mind, we're not doing all that. We're not doing all of that. But you know, you're right in terms of who you are and how you identify shaped so much with how you were brought up and your family history and all of the things that surrounded you. I mean, you know, I don't know that at an early age I defined manhood without a drink in your hand.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because I mean, it's NOLA, baby. It's what we do.
And,
you heard me?
You see it all around you. It's what everybody else is doing. It is the norm.
It's the norm.
So part of this is, you know, can you hold your liquor?
Can you hold your liquor?
If you're in New Orleans, you got to be able to hold your liquor.
That's right.
You know, it's a little different for us. It was whether or not you could fight.
Right.
Whether or not you could hold your own.
That's right.
Not get what we would call punked by somebody else.
That's right. That's right.
And so these are things that we allow to identify us as young men, and then we sometimes keep that edge to us as we get older, not realizing that our identity has been tied up in our past experiences.
That's right. And when someone, especially when stress or pressure or frustration come in, that identity seems to seep out even more. Right? I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed in my life over time, but there are those moments where all 9 of them wards start to raise up in me, right? There are those moments, and if I can be really transparent, because it's just you, me, and our friends and family that are out there, you know, I'm sure my wife is not watching. There's sometimes where you know, at home, all 9 of those wards want to raise up in me. There's sometimes at work where all 9 of those wards want to raise up in me.
Right. It's a part of our history, and so we have to be careful that we don't let pressure cause us to lose identity or keep us from finding what our true identity is.
That's right.
Because maybe the identity that we were brought up in is not the one that we should really have.
That's right.
So we got to kind of investigate that. I also thought about roles and responsibilities being pressure. So as a man, you know, you got the traditional things that people tell you that you're supposed to do. Like, so if you're a man, you know, you take out the trash, and you're supposed to mow the lawn and paint and get the oil changed on the car. You know, things that are traditional roles and responsibilities of men. But what happens when the pressure comes in? Like, so true story.
Okay.
Married to my wife. I guess we've been married maybe about 3 years. And I said, you know, things were starting to get tight from a money standpoint. And so I went to bed one night and woke up in the middle of the night and was like, how am I going to pay this mortgage?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, the mortgage woke me up. I was like, you know, and you know, there's nothing I can do about it laying there in the bed at that moment. But the pressure of making sure that your house is taken care of, that you can provide for your family, you know, those kinds of roles, that's tough.
It is tough. I like to say this: 4 key roles of a man:
Okay.
to lead, to feed, to provide, and to protect. That's the 4. And each one, even on their own, is stress filled.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Each one is.
How many men do we know that are struggling with direction for their family?
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
to be able to say, okay, this is where we're going, this is what we're going to do. Because that's a lot of pressure when you're trying to, when she asks you, okay, when your wife or your kids ask you, what are we going to do? What direction are we going in? You're
That's
just
right.
like, just get in.
Just get in. Come on.
Just get in.
And by the way, not only do we have to do those things to be successful, but how we do that matters. Right? So in the moment of the stress, we have to be careful not to show the stress, because then we come off as abrupt
Right.
or frustrated with the people that we should be leading, feeding, providing, and protecting.
So now we got the pressure of managing emotions
Yes.
and feelings and thoughts.
Yes.
While still trying to execute what's going on.
So hence emotion. True story. So something possessed my child to get a puppy.
Okay.
My college-age daughter gets a puppy. And he's cute. Ghost. He has his own Instagram page, but I think it's Ghost the Pit Bull.
Dog has an
The dog has an
Instagram
Instagram page.
page. Isn't that how Facebook got started? With cats or something?
Anyway, yeah. So now I know her life is not set up for a puppy.
You know that.
I am aware of this.
Okay.
I'm also aware that my house is not set up for a pit. A pit puppy maybe, but that's not gonna last much longer.
That's about it.
Yeah. And so yesterday, my wife and I divide and conquer on some things, and then, when she gets home, I'm already home. I'm up watching the first half of what would turn out to be Patrick Mahomes' meltdown, but we talked about that. But so I hear her come in, and it seems like she has some extra things with her. So I'm like, maybe she went to the grocery store. Well, come to find out, Ghost is with her. Now, Ghost is spending the night.
Oh, he is.
Yep, all 8 weeks of him spending the night, because Ghost is 8 weeks old. Now, for those of you who do not know, we also have Cannon, who is a 4-year-old Yorkie. Okay,
So
and
you
Ghost
got-
is an 8-week pit bull
Pit
puppy.
puppy. A pit
Okay.
puppy and a Yorkie.
That's right. And the Yorkie, along with the natural traits that they have, is used to being the only animal in the house. He doesn't even have legs for all intents and purposes, because he's carried around everywhere. So when Ghost shows up, you have an 8-week rambunctious pit bull puppy and a spoiled Yorkie. And so I said, well, why is Ghost spending the night? And my wife said, because Elijah has to work in the morning.
The same daughter that went and got a puppy.
Yeah,
She went and got a
because I'm off, apparently. So anyway, so then we, let's double down on it. So we go take it one step further, and we say, well, we will let Ghost sleep in Aiden's room,
Okay.
because a 12-year-old and a pit bull puppy is a great plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
both of them got
Yeah,
all kind of energy.
all kind of energy, and he has to go to school in the morning.
Okay.
And so at 1 a.m., Cannon hears a noise, and he starts barking, which in turn wakes Ghost up.
Oh my goodness.
So Ghost start whining. So at 1 a.m., I got one upstairs whining and one downstairs barking. So, of course, now we got to make sure Aiden gets his rest for school. So my wife gets Ghost. Can't get Ghost settled. So she said, I'm going to go in the guest room with Ghost and get him settled. And I said, fine, I'll stay in this room with Cannon. But, of course, Cannon wanted my wife. So Cannon couldn't get comfortable. So every 30 minutes or 40 minutes, Cannon is moving around and trying to figure out what's going on. And he will tap you if he wants your attention.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
At 1 in the morning.
At 1 in the morning. Well, maybe 2 or 3 at this point. But my point is, in spite of all of that, all of that pressure,
Right. Having to manage all of that.
have to manage all of that
and be okay with
and
it.
be okay with it, because I better not be not okay with it. And see, that's my point. As a man, you often have to figure out how to navigate all of the things that are happening around you and do it in the right disposition,
Right.
at the right time, in the right way.
And now the pressure begins to mount what if I'm not equipped to do this? what if I've not had somebody teach me how to be patient and how to navigate situations, when to talk, when not to talk?
That's right.
I thought about it, and I said that there's some things I know how to do, but there's some things that people can teach you how to do.
That's right.
But then there are other things that you just can't do better than somebody else.
That's right.
And sometimes as men, we put pressure on ourselves to be better than somebody else in an area where we're not really supposed to be that great in. You know, I've not been called to be a great NBA player.
Right.
But so if I keep striving for that and thinking in my mind I'm supposed to be a great NBA player, then I succumb to the pressure of that, and I end up missing out on life and what I should be doing because I'm trying to do something else.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I looked up some numbers because I like numbers. They help me process things, and so granted, this survey is a couple of years old, but I think it's still very telling. And so the question asked to 1,600 adult men was, do you think that society puts pressure on men in a way that is unhealthy or bad for them? 60% of the men, 6 out of 10, said yes.
Wow.
That society puts pressure on them. So we've been talking about sometimes the pressure we put on ourselves.
Wow.
But 6 out of 10 men believe that society puts pressure on them that is unhealthy or bad for them.
Man
now, this
do
is
this or man do that.
exactly.
Okay.
Man should be this. Man should be that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So let me pause because we normally do a commercial for the ladies.
Okay.
Ladies, are you putting stress on your man that is unhealthy or bad for them? Okay. Because men have insecurities too. So this also blew my mind. Similar survey. It says, what do you worry about on a daily or near daily basis? Men.
As a man.
As a
Okay.
man.
Okay.
1,600 men. 54% of the men said their weight was one of the things that they worry about on a daily or near daily basis. Now, historically, that's something you attribute to women.
Right.
But men,
Wow.
53% put finances in that category.
Yep.
49% put physical health in that category.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that. That's right.
Yep.
33% put physique. 32% your ability to provide for your family. And you could check multiple answers.
Yeah.
That's why these numbers won't add up to 100. 32% put their mental health. 1 out of 3 men
Wow.
put their mental health as something they worry about on a daily or near daily basis.
And I would be very interested to see what that number is in 2022. With
Right.
so much is going
With
on
so
with
much.
the pandemic and everything else. Wow.
And 19% put their hair or their hairline. I'm gonna let that be what it is. Hey. 18% clothing. 23% sexual performance or amount of sex. And appearance of your genitalia was 13%.
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
And 6% was height. And then 13% put none of the above, so they don't have any problems at all. So there you go.
So that's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
We talked about sexuality. A man is into performance.
Yes.
And so how does that affect him when, if the woman is just doing him a solid? Or whoever it is just like, let me help you get to where it is you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
But just not really being into the actual intimacy of the moment. That affects a man. He's just like, because now he's thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to do something else. So I'm gonna have to come in with my cape
Take it
on
up to the next notch.
dive off of the top of the bed.
That's right.
Something, just so you got, but it's a real pressure. It's just
That's
like, wow, does she still want to be with me?
That's right.
And a lot of times, men, if they can't get that at home, don't make it right.
You saying it's not right?
It's not right.
Okay.
But they'll go get it outside of the house, and it's not because they love the person that's
No, not at all.
with. It's just you're fulfilling a need that I have.
That's right.
That I didn't think that I could get at home.
That's right. The ladies will remember. They remember when they lied to their man and said, "You the best I ever had." And listen, and we knew they were lying, but it didn't make us feel any. I mean, look, we were like, "I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm it."
Right.
Because
Because what do you do? How do you devastate a man to be like, okay, you're
not good.
You're killing him.
Killing him. And ladies know. They know. And so we need it. Even if we don't believe it, we need it.
Right.
Because it validates a portion of us that needs to be validated.
Right. But sometimes the pressure is our fault. We're putting too much pressure on ourselves. And then I kind of looked at accomplishments. Men tend to be very competitive. You know, did I win this trophy? Did I get this degree? Did I buy this car? Did I buy this house? Do I have this this coat, this gold chain? We compete with each other, and then we fall under that pressure of saying, okay, well, you know, if he got that, then why can't I get it too?
That's right. That's
That's
right.
a lot of pressure.
That's right. You know, one of the things that I think stuck out to me, and, you know, just a recap for everybody that missed it, while we're not here with a Bible sitting on the table and preaching all the time, we still unapologetically believers in Jesus Christ, right? So that's important, okay?
Right.
Because what I'm about to say matters, right? You know, one of the things that I think is super interesting is in the Jewish culture, there's a rite of passage. So you become a man by essentially having manhood conferred upon you in a rite of passage.
Okay.
So now the definition of a man and all of the things that come with that is not up to whoever the greatest rapper is or whoever the best athlete is. It is conferred to you in a very ritualistic and consistent way.
Wow.
And I just wonder if in our community we took the time to actually confer manhood as opposed to allowing people to infer manhood.
Right. To tell you, this is how, these are the steps. This is what you should be able to accomplish if you want to be called a man.
That's right. That's right. And here's what you need to, you're right, here's what you need to do, and you have to be successful at it to graduate. See, we attach it to income, we attach it to age, and in some cases, we attach it to your ability to make children.
Right.
But in reality, it's much more than that. I tell my kids, they're old enough now to vote, and in one case to drink. But until you pay the rent.
Right, because you have not established your own territory.
Correct.
Your own funding, your own space. And so if you're going to be an adult, then these are things you need to be able to do. You know, so all this is tough, man, because when you were saying that, I thought about how many kids have had manhood conferred on them by the hood that they were in,
There you go.
by the people that they were with. So that's real interesting, man. And then I remember the pressure as a child of looking up to other people, you know, whether they be cousins or other people in different areas, and be like, you know, and they'll say, you know, oh, man up, you know, like, you ain't no man, hit that.
Yeah,
you know,
man up.
Yeah. Tell you man up. And that's another pressure that you deal with. And so then you keep cycling that. So now you can look at your children, other kids, and say, well, if you don't do this, then you must not be a man. And we don't have the correct definition for what manhood really is because we got the wrong example.
That's right. And now we have pressure from a bad definition.
Yeah, wow. That's a lot to unpack. So we may have to jump back into this a little bit more on the next podcast. But man, that's, you know, just the pressure of a man. And you know, we ain't weak and we you know, just falling all of, but sometimes there's some pressures that we deal with that we really talk about that we should.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
That's right. And so listen up, as we wrap this episode up, we want you to remember to like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, comment, do all of those things. It's important that we hear from you. Hopefully we're addressing topics that matter to you. If we're not, let us know that in the comments. If we are, let us know that in the comments. But in whatever case it may be, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, The Manual for You is your podcast. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
We're here for the men. The Manual for You.